What's up, YouTube? Cam that guy here. I'm back once again with another YouTube video, man. So in this YouTube video, I'm gonna be doing a video on how to stop bullying. My bullying. I have hands-on experience with bullying, so how to overcome bullying. You know what I'm saying? This is gonna be my advice video. I have not done an advice video like this on my channel yet. I never spoke on bullying on my channel yet. So I'm gonna do an advice video on how to overcome bullying, how to deal with bullying. All right. So before I get into how to deal with bullying, I want to talk about my bullying coming up and shit. You know what I'm saying? This is a touchy subject for me. Right. Um, I first started getting bullied in ninth grade. You know what I'm saying? It began as like verbal bullying, right? And then it started to turn a little bit physical. So the verbal bullying went like this is just little jokes and shit, right? I make jokes back and shit. I'm used to joking. I'm used to verbal bullying. I'm used to talking shit. You know, so I used to talk shit with my brothers and shit all the time at the house and shit. I'm used to that shit. You know what I'm saying? They'll say some shit to me. They'll probably make fun of my shoes or some shit. Or they'll probably make fun of, you know what I'm saying, my haircut one day. You know, if I be looking rough or some shit. They'll probably talk about shit like that. It wasn't like very offensive ass jokes. Maybe it was just little jokes like that or some shit, right? You know, I was joking a nigga back, you know what I'm saying? And I guess my joke game was kind of strong and shit. Nigga know how to rip, you know, so nigga know how to make fun of and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't do that anymore. But back then I low key, you know what I'm saying, know how to, roast people and shit, right? So that's what I was doing and shit like that back in school and shit. It was a normal like exchange of making fun of each other and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'll make fun of a nigga. I'll say if a nigga made fun of me, I'll make fun of his head shape. Your head like a potato chip or some shit. You know what I mean? Or let's say if he got some big ass pants on, I'll make fun of his pants or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or let's say if a nigga got some fucked up ass teeth, I'll make fun of his teeth or some shit. For a nigga fat, I'm gonna call a nigga fat. Big ass, you know what I'm saying? Big body ass, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how it was back in the day for me in high school. Making fun of it was like normal. Like back then, back when I was in school, making fun of people, ripping on people and shit. That shit was like the norm. It was the normal, right? So I knew how to handle verbal abuse. I knew how to handle it. Where things went left, you know what I'm saying, was when it started to turn physical. So in other words, niggas was trying to ask me, slap box me. You know what I'm saying? Do you want slap box? You know, so all that other shit niggas was trying to challenge me to slap boxing matches, right? This is something I was aware of slap boxing ever since elementary school, right? But this is something I did not like doing, you know what I'm saying? Because slap boxing could turn bad very quickly. You slap somebody the wrong way or some shit, they get to fighting you. Somebody getting beat up real bad in slap boxing, it might turn physical. I watched lots of slap boxing matches before. You know, so I know how slap boxing works. I know the art of slap boxing. I know the art of fighting, boxing, all that shit. I know all that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Uh, I don't want to slap box because you know what I'm saying. I feel like I know how to slap box somebody has to be either two ways. You have to be either really really cool with this person, or you have to really have like some animosity. Like I don't fuck with this person, right? But there's no in between game. You see what I'm saying? So I feel like to slap box somebody, you gotta be like cool type shit, or you gotta like really not fuck with this person in order to slap box them. But there's no in between game. It was an in between game in most cases. When I got asked to slap box with people, it was like we talk every now and then. Why you asking me to slap box you or some shit? Or it's just to niggas I don't know at all. There's niggas I don't know for nothing. Like I don't know you type shit. I'm not finna slap box no stranger. You know what I'm saying? We barely talk and you asking me to slap box you. We ain't cool. We are not cool. Why are you asking me to slap box you? We ain't cool. Or they'll you know what I'm saying? Or it's like, I don't have like a big issue with you. I don't have a problem with you. Why are you asking me to slap box you? Plus, around this time while I was in high school, I was not a fighter, right? I'm still not a fighter. I want niggas to know I am not a fighter, right? Society has tried to turn me into something I'm not. You see what I'm saying? I am not a fighter, never was. You know what I'm saying? But society was to try to turn me into somebody I'm not. That's why I gotta try to stay, in that position to where, okay, this ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I went up to CVS to try to fight that guy. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? That's not who I am. You see what I'm saying? I'm not a fighter, right? But I got provoked into doing that because this nigga made me look bad and shit in front of millions of people. It's like, yeah, he asked for this shit. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, I'm not a fighter. I don't like doing that, right? So, but you know what I'm saying? This is something that ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas would try to ask us, I said no and shit. And then eventually niggas would try to slap box me anyway type shit. You know what I'm saying? They would probably try to test me out or some shit. You know what I'm saying? This is typical high school behavior. This was typical behavior, but I was like a famous person and shit, right? So it was kind of like they did this shit for clout and like shit like that. They did this shit for like because the tyrants told them to do this shit and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I literally had no reason to like be getting bullied in high school, right? But it ended up happening type shit, right? So, like I said, a nigga didn't get beat up, you know what I'm saying? None of that shit. I didn't get no bruises, no scars on me, none of that shit, you know what I'm saying? But a nigga will probably push me or some shit. Nigga will try to slap me or some shit. Not. I ain't get no bruises, no face hits or nothing like that. But nigga will try to do shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Just try to test me out, try to provoke me to get me to, you know, get in that mode or some shit, right? When in reality, I'm not a fighter and never was, right? But then, the physical started to turn a little bit worse to where they will jump me type shit. They will literally jump me. Like, they'll probably grab me, throw me on the ground, some shit, slap around me and some shit. That'll be it. They did that a few times before. I remember one time it was my birthday. They hit me 15 or 16 times, however old I turned. They hit me that much times or some shit. You know what I'm saying? They was really like provoking the nigga, really trying to test the nigga out and shit. You know what I'm saying? It was like on top of the verbal bullying and some shit. I had niggas calling me soft and shit. I had niggas calling me soft. I had niggas calling me a pussy and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was a bad look for me and shit like that. This is like one of the reasons why I transferred to the public school, right? I transferred to this public school because of the bullying. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of the bullying. That's why I transferred to the public school. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of that shit, right? You know what I'm saying? So they was doing all that and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I told my guardian about it. I'm like, I'm getting bullied there or some shit. She's just like, you just gotta be there till you graduate. You got a couple more years. It's like, it's deeper than that, you know what I'm saying? I can't continue to live like this. Like, I literally go to school. Like, the bullying was so bad that sometimes I would go to school and I wouldn't eat. You know what I'm saying? The bullying was bad to where I didn't want to eat. I didn't want to drink. You know what I'm saying? I would avoid the people that bully me and shit. I would hide myself and shit. That's how bad the bullying was. Like, it ruined my appetite, my thirstness. I'm having my guardian waste money on food I'm not eating. You know what I'm saying? I would hide away from people and shit. This is how bad the bullying was, right? But you know what I'm saying? It was like it came to the point where it's like okay, you know what I'm saying? What was the final straw for me? It wasn't really no final straw. I just reached the breaking point of bullying. You know what I'm saying? I was just tired of bullying. You know what I'm saying? And then what ended up happening? I put my foot down and said, "Look, I don't want to be at this school anymore." Gorian knew that. Transferred to another school. You know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening. You know what I'm saying? And then I never got physically bullied again. It was the physical bullying that was bothering me, not the verbal bullying. Cause I got verbal bullying at the last high school I had, the school I graduated from. I got verbal bullied there, right? But I managed to handle it, hold my ground, and say some shit back or just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was, right? So that's kind of, you know what I'm saying? That was my bullying growing up type shit, you know what I'm saying? I didn't get into deep detail, but even the teachers were bullying me there, you know? So even the teachers was bullying me there because, like I said, I'm famous around this time and shit. Even the teachers will bully me there. They'll talk shit and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So it was bullying like that, you know? So I got bullied by the teachers and the students and shit. It was bad, you know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I ended up transferring from that school, moved on, and I ended up living a better life. It was bad for my mental health to be at that private school that I was at. It was bad for my mental health, right? So here's what ended up happening now. You know what I'm saying? And then I went to this new school, graduate. So that I wanted to make the first half of this video talking about my bullying in high school and shit. You know what I'm saying? But now I'm gonna talk about how to deal with bullying. You know what I'm saying? As a whole, I want to talk about how to deal with bullying, right? So how you deal with bullying is this. You know what I'm saying? Simply how to deal with bullying is you gotta stand up for yourself. Now, like I said, I didn't do this at the time because it wasn't in me to get physical, right? But if you take me now and put me back in that time, I would have got physical with those people and shit. You know what I'm saying? There are even people in real life that low key test me. You know what I'm saying? Like they might say something slick, they might interrupt me while I'm having a conversation or some shit. Really, the only thing that's keeping me at bay right now is the law. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. I'm worried about the police and going back to jail, and losing my life. So that really is what keeps me at bay at this moment. And also simply because I'm just not really that person. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that person to get physical or get into any altercations. That's not me. I don't want to do that. Especially with a bunch of nobodies that are not on my level. They just civilians trying to clout chase off me or trying to get a bag off me. So that's why I pay no attention to it, right? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, back to the topic at hand, how to deal with bullying and shit. You simply go like this, you know what I'm saying? If you're in school, you getting bullied in middle school or high school or elementary, you simply gotta stand up to the bully, right? And you have to get physical with them. Once you get physical with this bully, they will either have more respect for you or it could go bad. So sometimes sometimes people bully is because they're insecure. Most people bully because they're insecure about themselves. They have something wrong with them on the inside, or because they are jealous of you in some type of way. Right? People bully me simply because they were either insecure or they were jealous. That's what bullies do. You know what I'm saying? So when you stand up to this bully, right, you gotta make sure you get physical with them. Right? Let's say if a bully get physical with you, you gotta get physical with them back. Let me speak on verbal bullying because there's a lot of people that can't take words, right? How to deal with verbal bullying is this: ignore. You either gotta ignore. You don't want to keep going verbal word for word with a bully. You know what I'm saying? Probably every now and then you could do words, but if that don't work, be like, look, I'm tired of you talking to me this way, this, down, there. I ain't with all that shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop talking to me this, down, the third, da, da, or you know what I'm saying? We can fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, fighting is something. It depends on how your bully is. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to fight somebody that's out your league, right? So I'm not saying you got to pick your battles wisely, right? So if your bully is tall and big and shit, you don't want to fight that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You gonna lose. It's a losing match. He talking shit to you and he has a way advantage over you. Don't accept that fight. If it's just bullying you like this, you can stand up to the bully verbally, right? Then if that don't work, you can go tell a teacher. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with telling a teacher, going to the office, telling the office people. There's nothing wrong with doing that. You see what I'm saying? If you know you can't beat this guy in a fight, there's nothing wrong with going to the office, right? And talking to the office people, talking to a teacher or some shit to help you. If you know you can't beat this guy in a fight. But if it appears that you can beat your bully in a fight, I will go with it. It's just you gotta pick your battles wisely, right? Don't go fight somebody you know you can. Don't start a fight with somebody you know you can't beat. But if it seems like this fight might be a draw or there's a chance you can beat this guy, go for the fight. You see what I'm saying? But if you know this guy's out your league, do not fight him. I do not want you getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit, right? So how to simply deal with bullying is you go like this. Let's say you get bullied, right? You say a couple shit stuff. You say a couple things back to him, right? It don't work. Stand up to the boy, brothers. I'm tired of you doing this or that, this or that. Look, stop talking to me. Stop fucking with me. Don't get away from me type shit. Now, if that shit don't work, go to ignoring route. Just ignore the bully for a while, right? Just ignore it. And if the bully's still talking to you, stand up to him again, and then tell the teacher, tell a principal or some shit, right? You know what I'm saying? That's like your last resort if the bully's out your league. Now, if you can fight this bully, if you feel like you can challenge this bully successfully, you go like this. You kind of follow the first steps I said. Just say a bully try to talk to you, try to talk shit. You talk shit back. You go for a little bit. If that don't stop, be like, look, I'm tired of you saying all this shit. I ain't with all that shit. Leave it the fuck alone or some shit. Then ignore the bully for a while. Then if that don't work, the bully keep trying to talk to you, stand up to the bully and be like, okay, look, you know what I'm saying? I ain't with all this shit. I already warned you. You know what I'm saying? If you do it again, we're gonna have to fight. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get with him like that. Right? Now he either gonna fight you or he gonna laugh it off or some shit, right? So if he's challenged your fight, then you gotta fight him. You gotta be with the shits, right? Now if he just laughs it off or kind of backs down or whatever, then that means okay, you know what I'm saying, he should definitely stop at this point, right? But if he's still going, then eventually you're gonna have to be the fighter star, you're gonna have to fight him, you know what I'm saying? Here's what happens when you do this, right? Sometimes people have to see you do something brave in order for them to get respect for you, right? So in other words, what I'm trying to say is if you fight this bully, other people and this bully will see, okay, this guy is not a punk. He actually bout shit, all that other shit. Typically, when you fight a bully, everybody in the school gonna know about it and they're gonna leave you alone type shit. You know, so that's typically how it goes. Like once you get in a fight, niggas gonna leave you alone type shit. But if you keep getting tested over and over and over again by multiple people, this time you to transfer to another school type shit, right? But let's say you get tested, right, and then you end up getting tested again soon after or some shit. Time to tell a teacher or principal and be like, look, you can tell this bully straight up, look, we could do it off campus or some shit. I just came back for suspension, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying, all this other shit. You tell a teacher, you tell a principal or some shit, right? So let's say you fight this bully, right? Then, you know what I'm saying, what ends up happening is a couple months later, another bully is testing you. Tell a teacher. You know, so you don't want to do the same thing twice. You know what I'm saying? But if it's your first time getting bullied, like actual bullied, you gotta fight that bully. You gotta get aggressive with that bully. You gotta let them know what's up. But, you know what I'm saying? After that, if you end up getting tested again by a bully, then it's kind of like, okay, it's time to tell a teacher this, that, and the third. Or you can just tell the bully straight up, we can do it off campus. If you feel like you could fight this guy, if you feel like you could challenge him, right? But if you know this bully out your league, you know what I'm saying, all that other shit, don't do it. Only do that as if it's your last resort. Just simply ignore and put some headphones in. And if that bully touch you, then you fight for your life. You know what I mean? That's you know what I'm saying, the game plan. That's you know what I'm saying, the strategy and shit, you know what I'm saying? So this is how you deal with bullying, you know what I'm saying? Um And yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's the end of this video, you know what I'm saying? That's the end of this advice video, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all enjoyed this advice video. How to deal with bullying, you know what I'm saying? So the first half of this video was talking about my bullying. Second half was how to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? So I hope y'all enjoyed this video and shit. If you did, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.